Hello my fragrance friends, it's Kat and I'm back today for a video that I've done a bit of research on. So I've received the 2025 flanker of YSL Libre. This is Vanille Couture, so as you can tell by the name, it's going to be a vanilla forward, which I love. I'm such a vanilla lover, so this one has been really exciting. I also really love this gold bottle, but what you might not know about me is I really do like Libre, and I have 3 other flankers that I'm going to compare this new one to. So let's talk about the notes of the new one and then compare it to the 3 that I have and sort of let you know how to find the right Libre for you, because there are quite a few and there's very minute differences between the flankers. So I've been testing this for the past couple of weeks, so I know exactly what it's like. I must admit, when I first put it on, I'm like, this is just YSL Libre. It has the strong YSL Libre DNA, so if you recognize it, you will recognize it in this. But where I feel like this fragrance differs from the others that I've tried in the range is the deep dry down does change. The most prominent accord of this one is vanilla, which makes a lot of sense. It's a vanilla based fragrance. Then there's white floral, lavender, sweet, citrus, and rum. So when you think of, or when I think of Libre, I think of lavender, vanilla, citrus, and white florals. That's sort of the combination of Libre, and depending on which flanker you get, there's different proportions of it mixed with a few other things here and there. But that's the crux of Libre, and that has that in spades in this. This to me, I'm like, don't I already have this? The note structure of this is even more simple than some of the other flankers I've tried as well. So the original I'll have the notes of, it's a lot more complex. I'll talk more about that after I tell you exactly what I think about this. But in comparison, the note structure of this one is 5 notes. There's bourbon vanilla, orange blossom, lavender, vanilla caviar, and rum. So a lot of vanilla, but again, very simple breakdown. When I first apply this, I do get a bit of lavender. I do get white florals. So to me, white florals sit quite sharp on my skin, so I do get that. And then it sort of has this warm, comforting vanilla scent to it, which I really like. That pretty much is the description of all the other flankers that I have. However, what is different with this one is in the deep dry down. I'm not talking about after an hour of wearing it. I'm not talking about 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'm talking more about 5 or 6. You get the most beautiful vanilla extract scent to it. It turns completely vanilla, which none of the other flankers do, and it just smells like you've sprayed vanilla extract or essence on your skin. So this, in the deep, deep dry down, so at the end of the day, you get this comforting, really long-lasting, beautiful vanilla, which I love. I love that. I think that is so nice. My only criticism about that is I wish that came in earlier. So there is definitely like the vanilla note in there, but that really true vanilla extract scent, it's right at the end, and it's fun. And when you smell your skin, you're like, oh, that's delicious. But I usually smell it and I'm like, it's nearly time for me to wash it off. So I just wish that that came through earlier, but it is, if you're a vanilla lover, you will love this. So if you like the Libre DNA and you love a cozy dry down vanilla, this is fantastic, and it does last all day. You can easily smell it on your skin 12 hours time. I would recommend this to people who like the Libre DNA. You have your shower in the morning, you put your fragrance on, and then by the time you've gone to bed, you smell like vanilla essence. It's cozy, it's delicious, it's long lasting. I love it. So this I really, really do like. I think it's great. This is probably my favorite of the range, simply because of that deep, deep dry down. But again, I wish that dry down came earlier, because I'm waiting for it for like 6 hours, and then I get it and I'm like, ah. Oh. What I did last week was I applied this to one wrist, and then each day I compared it to another one of the YSL Libres that I have. So what I have is I've got the original, I've got Intense, and I've got Le Parfum. Now you can tell how sweet they are based on the color of the juice. All of these bottles are the same, but you can see the original YSL has the lightest juice. then you've got Intense, and then you've got Le Parfum, which is the sweetest of the three. In my collection, this is the only one that has unique packaging. Every other one has this glass with the YSL gold logo on it, whereas this has that sort of, it's almost got a gold plate at the back and the front, and then the sides are clear, so you can see the color of the juice, you can see the level you're at, but it does have this gold front and back to it, which I think is really nice. If you are new to the YSL Libre range, I will always recommend smelling the original. The original is the perfect balance between vanilla, white florals, lavender, citrus, and one sort of, it's a good thing and a bad thing about the range is that they are so similar in DNA, but they just tweak slight things. So I would say that this is a really well-balanced fragrance, and this is probably where the midpoint is where I would start. If you liked the vanilla dry down in this, I would go into the sort of area that I've gone into, which is the Intense Le Parfum Vanille Couture, that sort of direction of fragrances. If you prefer the fresher, more citrus lavender notes, you can go into a fresher direction, which I personally haven't really gone into, but they even have an option that doesn't have vanilla. So if you really don't like vanilla, but you love the citrus, lavender, white florals, there is a version for you that has that. There's one in a silver bottle that has aldehydes thrown in, so it's a lot more sort of airy and fresh. The main notes are the lavender and the citrus and the aldehydes. Depending on what percentage of notes you want, pretty much the range has you covered. It's the same DNA, but just tweak the levels of certain things. So I don't have a lot of the fresh ones because what I loved mainly about Libre was the vanilla dry down. So I've gone into the more intense, sort of richer category, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. So next to the original, the most popular one is Intense, and you will often see people talk about how Intense is something they prefer over the original because of that really beautiful, rich vanilla scent to it. It lasts longer, it's warmer and cozier. I think I like the freshness of this in the opening, but I like the dry down of this. It's just, again, that sort of warm vanilla coziness. Some people will describe the difference between these either being summer, winter, day, night. It's that kind of vibe. They're very, very similar, but this just has that richer, sort of warmer, cozy vanilla dry down. I'll have the note structure on the screen of this one. Essentially, it's taken away some of the fresh notes of this, so things like the black currant, I think the petitgraine's gone, and it's added things like tonka, so just that sort of richer, sweeter vibe to it. So this does last longer, and again, it's that sort of warm weather, cool weather sort of vibe. So I love both of these. I think you can easily justify having both of these in your collection. The next one that goes into that direction is Le Parfum. So the juice of this one is darker than Intense, and look, would I say Intense is more intense? Probably not. I think this has taken the sweet element to a new level, not necessarily the vanilla element, but all of a sudden we're seeing sweet as being a really predominant accord with this one. It's got some new notes in it like ginger, saffron, and also honey. So it is more of that sweet, syrupy fragrance. So if you like the dry down of Intense, but you didn't want the sort of fresher lavender opening, that's where you'd probably go Le Parfum, because this one just delivers that sweetness straight away, and it's the least like lavender of the bunch. So where does the new Vanille Couture fit in? I would say it fits somewhere in between Intense and Le Parfum. So it's not as fresh as the original. It definitely sits in this sort of scent profile and this part of the range. If lavender was something you wanted to know about, this is also the sort of order I'd go for. So this has the most lavender, this has the medium amount, this has the least. So Le Parfum has the least. And if you're talking about sweetness, it's also going this direction. This has the least, this has more, and this has the most. So that's the sort of ranking of this. Where I think this stands out is that vanilla dry down, because what I find the difference between this is generic sweet. Yes, it has vanilla in it, but it also has other sweet notes in it, whereas this has that true vanilla extract scent to it, which I personally prefer. I would prefer a strong vanilla over something that is more just generic sweet. So for me, this one trumps this one, but they're all quite similar, I'm just gonna say. Another question you might ask is, if you have one or two of these, do you need the new one? And the answer is probably not. To be honest, this is too much Libra DNA. It's quite redundant. I'm actually planning on giving Le Parfum to a friend, because now that I have Vanille Couture, I would actually prefer to reach for this one because I like the dry down more than Le Parfum. And realistically, if I layered Le Parfum and the original, I'll probably get something similar to Intense. So Intense might be something that I pan in the near future. I realistically only need a couple of these. I would say go for the original because it's well balanced, if you like it, of course, and then go for one of the sweeter, more intense ones. You don't need all three. What I might do is, if I really like the DNA, is start smelling some of the fresher options. I think the one with aldehydes really piques my interest, and I can imagine having a sort of richer one, a more balanced one, and a lighter one. But I definitely don't think you need all three of these sort of more rich vanilla ones, because at a distance they're going to smell very, very similar on the skin. But which one you choose is totally up to you. Do you want just a more amplified sort of winter evening version of the original? Do you want something that has much less lavender but is a lot more sweet and honeyed? Or do you want something that dries down to true vanilla? Whichever you choose is up to you, but you probably don't need all three. I've been asked before how YSL Libre compares to Burberry Goddess. I will be doing another video about that, so if you're interested, keep watching. But let me know what your favorite flanker is of YSL Libre. Again, I'm sort of decluttering a little bit of this. It's too much of the same scent profile. Let me know what your favorite fresh one is. Do you like the silver bottle with the aldehydes? That one I want to smell and store. Let me know, and I'll chat to you in the comments. Bye.